How's it going, dudes? Today I want to talk about the gear that I use to create videos for clients. For those of you who do not know me, my name's Noah and I own and operate Arc Media, which is a full-service digital media house based out of Kelowna, BC. We create, market, and manage digital content for businesses and brands, and by we, I mean me. I'm currently just a one-man show, and this is the gear that I use to get the job done in terms of video. Just a quick note before we get started, all of the equipment that I'm about to mention can be found linked in the description below. They're all Amazon affiliate links, which means if you purchase something through one of those links, I get a small kickback from Amazon. You're helping support the channel, and it comes at no extra cost to you. Anyways, starting it off, the main camera that I shoot on is the Sony A6500. Now this is by no means the perfect camera. In fact, it has many flaws that really make me mad, but it is a very good camera for the price and it produces an absolutely incredible image. The camera actually captures footage at 6K and then downscales that to 4K, producing what is truly a beautiful image. The battery life is not that great and the screen on the back is definitely not the best, but if you can deal with both of those things, this is an awesome camera for the price. Now for my A6500, in terms of glass, in terms of the lenses I use, I have three primary ones. I rock a Sigma 16mm f1.4 for my wide shots, gimbal work, and actually detail shots. Its minimum focusing distance is extremely close, so you can really make things look larger than life, which is pretty cool. I use a Sigma 30mm f1.4 for medium shots and talking head interview stuff. And then to round it out, I have this Sony 18-105 f4 zoom lens. I use this guy a lot for any run and gun stuff, obviously for telephoto work, and then interviews as well. In terms of audio solutions, there's actually two main things that I use. The first thing I use is the Rode Videomic Pro. It's an amazing shotgun mic when mounted on top of your camera, but it can also be used as a boom mic if you mount it to a boom pole above your subject and run an extension cable into your camera. This has been my go-to audio setup for any talking head interview style stuff. When I don't have a subject locked down or I just want redundancy, I'll use my Tascam DR10L lav mics. These audio recorders are awesome. They come with a lav mic, which is pretty good quality, and they are feature packed. My favorite thing about them is that they record two audio tracks simultaneously. One track is recorded at your desired decibel level, and then another track, a backup track, is recorded 6 decibels lower than that. So if anyone speaks loud or peaks the audio, you can always switch back to that lower decibel track, as it should have you covered. I can't even tell you how many times that feature alone has saved me. It has made these things so worth the investment. Now, if you're unable to afford the Rode Videomic Pro or any other variation of that microphone, or the Tascam DR10Ls, my solution to you would be to just buy a lav mic off Amazon. You can pick them up for like 15 to 20 bucks, plug it into your phone, and use that for audio. As I'm sure you guys know, audio is extremely important, so an audio solution just like that is definitely worth the $15 to $20 investment. It will take your production quality way up. In terms of getting all of this equipment around, I can safely fit it inside of a Lowepro ProTactic 450 AW backpack. This backpack is so great. The entire inside is a soft material that you can attach and detach little dividers so you can fit it exactly to the equipment that you have. I have no issue wearing this around on my back whether I'm headed to a client job or I'm going to climb a mountain with my camera. Regardless of the situation, this backpack just works. It's really good quality. I'm very happy with it. Next up is supporting equipment. Now, I have to be honest and say that I much prefer spending my money on a new camera or a new lens than I do on a tripod or a light stand. But if I'm being honest with you, I also have to say that I've noticed personally the biggest jump in production quality that my videos have taken has not been by that new camera or that new lens, but strictly because of the supporting equipment that I've put my money into. First up is a nice tripod. I used to rock a $30 tripod from Walmart, and I have to tell you that that thing was just awful to use. I never wanted to take it out of its case or even out of my house, just because it really was no fun to be using. Having a nice tripod makes a world of difference. I can't recommend it enough. Next up is a nice monopod. I purchased a Suri. I don't know how you say it. But regardless, this monopod is awesome. I really have no complaints with it. I use it all the time when I'm shooting run and gun stuff, or I just want to be packing light. To accompany the tripod and monopod, I invested in some fluid heads, which are super necessary for video, but if you're doing photo work mainly, you don't really need them. Fluid heads allow you to accurately and fluidly move your camera around in whatever direction you need it to go, making for a pleasant shot to watch. One of my favorite tools that I have at my disposal is my gimbal. I purchased the Zhiyun Crane 2, but I also purchased that before the Ronin S came out. So if I had to choose right now, I'd probably go for the Ronin S, but do your own research. A gimbal's a gimbal though, so I haven't thought about upgrading or selling it. It works just fine, it balances my camera and gives me some pretty smooth shots. Regardless of what model or make you go for, a gimbal is definitely a worthwhile investment. I bought 2 heavy-duty C-stands off Amazon, and they're definitely a bit overkill for what I need. I 100% recommend that you invest in some C-stands, but probably just get something that's a little less overkill. These things are seriously meant to be on the set of a movie, not something I need. Next up is my lighting kit, and this is by far one of the best investments that I have made in my filmmaking arsenal. I have to say that after you have your camera, a lens, and some form of audio solution, I'd invest in a lighting kit. Now, just like cameras, lights are the same. You can go very cheap or extremely expensive. You kind of have to find what is right for you. I started off with a cheap softbox set off of Amazon, and it served me very well. I actually filmed quite a few client projects using them. But a couple months ago, I decided to put those aside and invest in a nice 3-point lighting kit from Aperture. These panels are super light, super portable, and they get very bright. But the main reason I chose them is because they can operate off of battery power. So when you're set up and sitting down, you can definitely plug them into the wall. But if you want to go out and about on an adventure and bring a light, maybe into the forest or something like that, you can totally bring these things, plug in the batteries, and you'll be good to go for an hour or two. It's crazy, I love them. And then to go along with your light set, I would buy a couple things to manipulate the light. I got a super cheap 5-in-1 reflector off of Amazon that allows me to reflect the light, change the color of the light, diffuse the light, so many things. It's awesome, super cheap. Finally, in terms of editing and post-production, I'm rocking a late 2013 MacBook Pro. It's got 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of SSD storage. It has an Intel Core i7 2.3 gigahertz processor and also an NVIDIA graphics card. This thing is pretty powerful for being like 5.5 years old. I can't complain, I love this thing a lot. In terms of archiving my footage, I use 4 terabyte Western Digital hard drives. Down the road, I definitely hope to invest in a better solution, but right now it's just not practical and these things work fine for me. Anyways, dudes, that is essentially all of the gear that I use to create the videos that I create for clients. And I know that this entire video was about the gear that I use, but I really want to make it clear that you don't need this gear to get started or to do work. This is just the current gear that I use in the situation that I'm in, but do not let this discourage you or use it as an excuse to not create. You can totally get started with way less than this, and as I continue to progress and learn more, I'm definitely going to upgrade basically everything that I have in this room. So there's that. Thanks so much for watching, dudes. I appreciate every single one of you so much, and I'll see you in another one.